Hello everybody and welcome to this pick a card reading video. Here we will be looking at if you are ready for love. We have 3 piles as usual, pile 1A, 2B, and 3C. I have not pulled the other cards yet. These are just to signify your cards. And then these here are little stone animals actually. So we have a goldstone pig, a hematite pig, and I believe it's clear quartz. A clear quartz wolf. Could be a coyote as well. You could feel drawn to more than one stack, and you can listen to more than one stack if you feel called to do so. You could potentially not feel drawn to any of the stacks, and that's okay if that's the case. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you, but I have plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel. As a reminder, everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello 1A and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. Here we have the card with the goldstone pig, and it says religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So really, for you all, are you ready? I think you both are and you aren't ready for love. I think also, if you don't relate to religious factors, like with this saying your religious upbringing, it could be that it's more so your religious path nowadays conflicts with the type of partner you want. Like, let's say you're a very spiritual person, you listen to this, and you're looking for someone who's also very spiritual, and it's hard to find that in your area. So I think it could be that you also maybe need to expand your dating pool, I guess is the best way to describe it. Expand who it is you are willing to date, because I feel like you could be already limited. So also with this, it makes me think that you're on your own spiritual like solo journey right now. So it could be hard for the things you're going through. It's like I see you being one person and you're in this transitionary phase. You're transitioning into this person you want to be. So you're not fully who you want to be yet. So it could be hard to be with somebody because you don't even fully know who you are yet or where you'd like to be in life yet. But ultimately it feels like there are beliefs that you hold that make it difficult. Oh, something else I was going to say is this could actually indicate more so societal expectations and societal factors. It makes me think of men who have to be breadwinners, like traditional roles, and then women who have to be like these caretakers, these people who bear children, all these things. So I think it could be hard for you because you have these ideas and these notions of who you should be and not who you actually are as it relates to how you were raised or how the church or other religious institution influenced you, or how specifically society influenced you based off of your gender, how you should live life. So it feels like you are ready in terms of you want to find somebody, but there's still I'm hearing there's some kinks you need to work through. Like there's things that I don't think you know the extent of how much these factors, religious or otherwise, like I was stating, like even familial expectations, I don't think you realize how much these expectations weigh heavily on you. So it's really hard because you want to be ready and you are in a way, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to understand who you truly are, separate from who people tell you you are and who you're meant to be. Let's go into the tarot deck now. We have the Tarot for You and Me Queer Deck and Guidebook. I need to use this deck more, so I'm happy that I actually felt immediately drawn to this deck for this reading. Sometimes it's like I'll feel drawn to the same deck multiple times and it's like, why? But I can't question it too much. I'm not supposed to know why necessarily. Okay. Any additional information we can get? I'm hearing that's funky. So that may resonate with some of y'all. That's funky. Okay, Temperance. Yeah, this is about being patient with yourself during this process. So it feels like this isn't something that's meant to happen right away for you. It could happen, like, I'm just hearing divine timing. Also with the 2 cups, it reminds me of the 2 of cups, where it's like, the 2 of cups is a very romantic card. So I think, you know, I'm hearing good things come to those who wait. So I think it's more so about fully fledging out your own personality more, fully fledging out, removing yourself from any religious or otherwise factors. Child of Lanterns. I'm pretty sure Lanterns is cups. No, wait, Lanterns is not cups. Lanterns, let me look. I think Lanterns might be, is it wands? Let's look in here. Yep, wands are replaced by lanterns. Okay. And the child, I'm pretty sure, is like the page. Did I say knight? I think I meant to say page. Okay. Trying to see queen, sibling, and child. Yeah, I just want to make sure. So page of wands. Page of wands also, like, wands energy in general reminds me of temperance, because temperance reminds me of Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius energy is very much, and this energy right here is very much the energy of exploring. So I think there's a lot left to explore. Before you settle down into a committed relationship, make sure you truly go on dates with people, like multiple people. Don't be afraid to do that. You're not a bad person for wanting to go on dates with people and figure it out. I think that's part of figuring out who you are, is figuring out, like, through the dates you go on. It kind of is like a reflection in a mirror. These dates you go on, these other people are almost like a mirror of yourself. Because it's like, oh, is that person similar to me? Are they different from me? And also, what is it that they are like that I like? And then we have the 7 of flags. This almost reminds me of red flags, but it's not red flags. It's beige. This is actually like is it these black flags? But it reminds me of beige flags, even though they're black right here. So I think part of the issue here is because of these religious or similar other factors. I think you also are easy to misread signs or misinterpret them. So for example, you could see, it reminds me of, I'm hearing like the people, those guys who talk about, oh yeah, I have a boat, looking for somebody to go boating with us somewhere. And like, that's such a big thing, apparently. Like, people love going boating. That's like a thing. That's like attractive, allegedly, to a lot of women. And I'm like, it's not a red flag, but it's a beige flag. It's that's like all they have in their bio. And there's things like, you interpret that as like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, I'll have other people think that's a good thing, so I obviously should think that that's a good thing, that this person has a boat. And so I think Spirit is saying you're missing, you've in the past missed the point. That's part of why they want you to have this curiosity. So you're ready to go on dates. Maybe you're not ready to settle down completely yet, but you're ready to go on dates. And part of this journey for you is, so go slow, take your time, explore, but also this is about picking out the beige flags and the red flags. Where it's like, so I'm getting, because 7 of flags, I'm getting with this, I get the 7 of, oh, sorry, this is 7 of swords. I don't know if I said 7 of wands, but 7 of flags is swords. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I got a little bit confused there. 7 of swords, because this is wands. I don't remember what I was going to say or what I was using. Okay. But, oh, and this is a dagger, right? Specifically. And you see how it's right on their forearms? So it's like you can see it. They're wearing a mask, you can see them wearing it. So I think Spirit is saying you can you've in the past seen red flags and beige flags. You've kind of just ignored them. So if it's obvious and people are making themselves known to you and their intentions, and they want for you to understand and realize that. So you're ready to go on dates, but a big thing Spirit wants for you to look out for are these red flags. That's something that you've ignored in the past, or that you haven't fully fledged out in the past. You've just kind of accepted it and been like, oh, I can change them, or oh, that's okay, I'll deal with it, like if it becomes an issue later on. And Spirit is saying that this isn't a time of... Sorry, my cat is scratching over there. Well, he is being so weird today. Anyway, oh, you heard me talking about him. Is he gonna go up there? See, and it's interesting. I think my energy right now, like waiting for him, it's like I was waiting. I think it relates to the Temperance because, maybe I would pause, or maybe I would like the video, or maybe I would kind of like sternly tell him, like, come on now, move along, or like talk to him, but I was just waiting. So it really is a time of waiting. And also I'm seeing you being observant. So during this time, be observant so that you can pick up on red flags. And also, I'm hearing that you should still be clear with your intentions, though. Like, if you're not wanting to be in a committed relationship, you should say that. If you are only looking for a committed relationship, you need to say that. I think you kind of have this idea that things will play out in the end, but it can't be like that if you're just incompatible or if you change who you are. So Spirit also doesn't want for you to hide behind a mask and change who you are. They want for you to embrace who you are. So there's a lot of parts of yourself, too, though, that you need to figure out and learn more about. But I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos as well as my collective reading videos on this channel. And I also have ASMR channels if you want to check those out below, as well as all my other socials. But thank you so much again, 1A. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, 2B, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. We have here the hematite pig, and then the card here says worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So I think with this, I think you are... Anyway, I want to make sure I get this right. I think you're starting to become ready. I think the divine timing is at work in your love life insinuates that, you know, of course, your partner, your next partner will come in at the right time in your life. But I think this also indicates you shouldn't rush yourself. So I think you're slowly opening up to the idea of being in a committed relationship. But I think the idea of it kind of scares you a bit. So Spirit is saying to ease into it. Hematite, too, it's a very cooling stone. So I'm hearing play it cool. And that doesn't mean fake it till you make it. In your instance, this is also a very grounding stone. Hematite is also really good at, like, regulating blood pressure. It's just really good at regulating. So I think first what you need to do is regulate your own body and your mindset first. It's like I'm hearing right now is a time to prepare. So you're not fully ready yet for love, but you're getting there. It's like you're opening up. You're like partially, maybe a quarter of the way there. So there, and you see how they're wrapped up in, it's funny how they're wrapped up in like these sheets, because hematite is again a cooling stone. And also with this, it's like you should be your own comfort blanket right now. So don't worry about finding comfort in another person romantically. You need to be able to find, I think this coldness is like, almost like you're giving yourself the cold shoulder. Like you can't only seek love from others, you have to seek it from within. And I'm also hearing that you're going through a transitionary period right now to the point of, like, it's very difficult, and it's like you're still in beginning stages of whatever this next part of your journey is. And I'm hearing like you've only just scratched the surface. So there's a lot you have to do yet to prepare yourself and to get ready for love. But you're starting the process. It reminds me of, this doesn't obviously have to relate to you. I don't think it will relate to many people, but it reminds me of people who, well, I was going to say people who get divorced or who like lose their partner. Let me just say this. Let's say you have broken up with your partner like a year and a half ago, and for a lot of people, they may be trying to tell you, hey, like push yourself out there. But if you're not fully ready, then you shouldn't push yourself. So this isn't a time of pushing yourself. It's when you have moments and glimmers of wanting to, I'm hearing, expand and open yourself up more, you can do that. And it doesn't have to be this big grand thing. I think it would actually be better is once you're ready for love, it would be best for you to not think of it as too big of a deal. You might get a little like some spark once you're like fully realizing, oh, I'm like actually finally ready. But it's also, since this is gonna be in multiple stages of preparation and like, I'm not saying planning is in you should be like this by this day I will be ready. I'm not saying that. Planning in terms of like telling yourself, whenever I feel like I am ready to like download a dating app or create a dating profile, I can do this. Whenever I'm ready to go on a date, I can do this. Whenever I'm ready to look at myself in the mirror and say I am ready, then I can, move on to the next thing. So it's like taking it one step at a time is the best way I can also describe it. Take things one step at a time. You don't need to be here and then all of a sudden once you are ready, it's not like you're going to be like, oh, I went on a date with somebody and then now we're going to get married. I just know I'm going to marry this person. It's a time of being slow during this process. Trusting that things will work out as they're needed to, but it's really a big emphasis on loving yourself right now in this own, like there's a big personal journey you're going through, and that because we go through changes doesn't mean we are incapable of loving other people or being able to receive it, but it just does feel like a time where spirit is highlighting you need to focus your energy inward on yourself right now, warm your own heart, and then you won't need all the validation from anybody else or the love from anybody else. And I'm hearing that you'll know your worth waiting for. Okay, any additional information, Spirit? 6 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so there's a lot of inner healing work. 6 of Cups is a card of healing old wounds, healing childhood wounds. Also just like, this is a card of reflecting on the past. You see that this person on this side is old and on this side they're young. So it's a time of reflecting on your life right now. So because there's so much, it's like you're making a lot of progress personally, but that also comes from drawing strength from the past version of you, the past events you've been through, learning from that and moving forward. Learning how to move on. I'm hearing, yeah, you're still in the process of moving on from the past. And from moving on from the past, we can't just ignore the past. It's about accepting the facts and accepting the past. Shadow of Lanterns. Yeah, I actually pulled this in the same spot for 1A as well. The Page of Wands. And one moment. Okay, I'm back. So also with this card, it makes me think that you should look upon your past with childlike wonder, not with disdain, not with, I want to say not with anger, because it's okay for anger feelings to come up, but we shouldn't hold on to that anger, right? We shouldn't hold on to sadness. So it's like any of these negative feelings we have, instead of only sitting with that, we can be like, how can I prevent myself from holding on to this anger or sadness for any longer? And what can I learn? What can I learn from what I have experienced? Also, what's worth waiting for, it makes me think you yourself are worth waiting for. Does that make sense? Like somebody else, it will be worth it when they find you, because you are somebody who's worth waiting for as well. So your person who's out there, you're worth waiting for. And for some of you, maybe this person could be even somebody who has tried to pursue you for quite some time as well. Yeah, I'm hearing with the Nine of Wands that, I don't want to word this. It's interesting because I'm hearing it's going to be difficult, but it's also easy. So the duality of both of those things, it's a very... I think what this means is that it will get, like, the process of opening yourself up to love will get easier as time goes on, which is why you shouldn't put so much pressure on yourself or try to move it along so quickly now. By taking your time and really analyzing the situation as time goes on. Also giving yourself room to breathe, by the way. But do you know what I'm saying with that? Like, don't think every day, like, okay, when am I gonna find love? When am I gonna find love? You can think about it when it pops up, and the light bulb too. It's like, ding, when it pops up, you can be like, oh, am I ready? And if not, then here's what I can do. If I am ready, okay, what am I gonna do now? You know, taking your time in that way. But yeah, so this is saying don't rush the process, but also, like, I'm hearing just believe in yourself. Believe that you'll get there. If you want it to happen, it will happen. If you want to be open and ready and receiving of love, you'll be able to get there, but you won't get there by shaming yourself. You won't get there by comparing yourself to other people and, like, where they're at romantically right now. You won't get there by only living in the past as well. It's like this is almost wrangling past you through a time travel machine, but this time travel machine also removes any quote-unquote defects. And so I'm just hearing, yeah, along the way, you'll get rid of these negative thoughts you have about yourself, any ways that you also view yourself in a negative light. You'll start to have more confidence in yourself along the way. You'll be like, oh, actually, how I feel about this is a reflection of how I actually don't view myself as a pretty person, or I don't view myself as somebody who is worthy of love, or I don't view myself as somebody who is talented or has much to offer. Do you get what I'm saying with that? I almost feel kind of confused with this part because it feels like it will be a confusing process. Like, I think sometimes you'd be like, okay, I'm ready. But then here's the thing too, if you feel like at any point you are ready and then you like download a dating app or you start going on dates and then you're like, oh, actually this is like overwhelming for me. Spirit is saying it's okay to wrangle it back in. It's okay to have your limits, have your boundaries. That's what this card is ultimately about as well, the Knight of Wands, traditionally speaking for tarot. So it's okay to have your own process and to find people who also respect that process. Don't give in for people who don't respect your process. And also I'm hearing who don't respect your grieving. I think once you find your next person, there's still going to be a lot of grieving that you'll have to do of past circumstances. So you should find somebody who is understanding and accepting of that and of, like, certain qualities about you that maybe will never go away as it relates to insecurity around relationships. And that isn't even just romantic relationships. I think many of you have probably had issues with all types of relationships, familial, friendship type of relationships. So because of that, I think there's some insecurity, but also just, even if it's not insecurity, you just have boundaries because of past circumstances. And so I think also a lot of you have walls up. So part of this process is putting your walls down, being able to be more vulnerable and being okay with knowing that maybe things won't work out with the next person, but you'll still be okay. So that's why Spirit really wants you to have stable footing and to love and trust yourself ultimately more than anything else or anyone else. But I will leave it at that. Thank you so much to be for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos on this channel, as well as my collective readings. So yeah, pick a card and collective readings. You can check out my ASMR channels linked in the video description down below. And also, don't be afraid to comment down below if you feel like doing so, if you resonate with this deck, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if you also feel drawn to do that, and if there are any updates you would like to provide. But thank you so much again, Tubi, and take care. Bye-bye. Hello, 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. Oh, of course, now my cat decides he wants to come over here. One second, I gotta move some stuff. Let me move these out of the way. Okay. Hello. This is a very quirky energy I get with you all. So you yourself could be quirky people, but I think it's also just a quirky situation is the way I can describe it. I think you get yourself into quite, what's the word, precarious situations, or like peculiar situations, where it feels like, yeah, your past relationships haven't worked out. And I think it's because maybe you miss red flags, but I think it's also just because you're unwilling to know when things turn sour until it's too late. Also, I'm just hearing like your friends saying, yeah, you don't know how to pick them very well, so we're going to help you. So you just haven't had good luck with picking very good people, I think. And I think you tend to be somebody who's like a hopeful, optimistic person, where you just think that things will work out anyway for you. And it's also, but with this, I'm hearing Talking to the Moon, Trying to Get to You by Bruno Mars. I hope that on the other side. Na, 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 na. Oh, you know what this makes me think too? I think you're still caught up on, or am I a fool talking to the moon? I think you could be somebody who is still stuck on a past relationship as well. And it's like you always look up at the moon. You're always daydream about getting back together with this person. Here's also the thing. That could relate what I just said, and or I think you maybe the people who you want to date are people who are literally impossible to date. Like, you're like, I'm gonna wait until I meet this celebrity. And then your friends are like, no, we can, like, I know somebody, let me help you. And you're just like, no. So I think also this quirkiness comes with having, I don't even know if I want to say high expectations. It's just, I think you're very specific about the type of person you want to date. But then the spirit is also saying the people, or the specific qualities you want in a person is interesting, because I think a lot of your past partners don't even have these qualities. So maybe that's why you have them now, and that's why you're so dead set on them. But it seems like, you know, it reminds me of people who want that bad boy aesthetic, but then they don't want them to actually be a bad boy. So looking like you could beat me up, but then also you're like kind. It's like, so I think the quirkiness also comes across as sometimes what you see is literally what you get. So I think Spirit is saying they want for you to almost look outside of yourself, looking in. Like, if you were one of your friends talking to you, would you be like, oh yeah, these qualities you're looking for are acceptable? Or would you be like, well, these things actually wouldn't align with your values or with your lifestyle, the things you're looking for? Or they're just like so unrealistic that they won't happen, and so then you won't be able to find love because you have such unrealistic expectations of what you want. And here's the thing, I think a lot of you, it's weird, I think you present as being somebody who likes to be hyper independent, or at least independent to much a degree, but then I think when you're alone with your thoughts, you think about when you'll be able to actually find somebody. There's a certain type of energy I'm getting. How do I best describe it? I don't know. Like, people think of, for example, Beyonce being very hyper independent and like a boss babe. She does everything herself. She's very self-made. But then she also has a partner who is also a billionaire, and a partner who has cheated on her, but she chooses to stay with, right? So it's like things aren't adding up. It's like you're independent, but you also seek this other person, even if they don't treat you the best, is the best way I can describe that. Let's go into the tarot cards now for further information. But yeah, this person's kind of just like looking away. They're just like kind of dazed and confused, and they're just like, yeah, whatever. Also, I think some of you maybe kind of aren't putting enough effort in, actually. So it's your friends are like, we can help you, but you're like, no, I got it. But then you don't really put in enough effort. There's a lot of energies going on here. So maybe you relate to everything I said, maybe only parts of what I said, but yeah. Let's see. Any additional information? Spirit? Any additional information for 3C? I think you're somebody who also really does like to have fun. So make sure that you find somebody who also doesn't dull your shine. If you want somebody who also like is very adventurous, I'm seeing amusement parks for some reason. Amusement park rides. So if you want somebody to be able to do those kinds of things with you, then you should actually try to seek that. And if that's a deal breaker for you, then you need to say that instead of being like, well, maybe I'll just convince them or I'll be okay with it. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Elder, which is the king of plants. I'm pretty sure plants is pentacles. Let's see in these beginning cards here. Yeah. So 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This is you literally not accepting outside help. When there are people who know people, or there are people who are able to help you gain perspective. Oh, wait, I was thinking of 10 of, that is actually really weird. Without, for some reason with this, I was thinking of because family and all that and community. Oh, that's really weird. I was actually thinking of this card but in reverse. Okay. So yeah, you see this is a lending hand, a helping hand. Don't be afraid to receive help. Don't be afraid to... I mean, for some of you, this could even honestly indicate some sort of dating service, like a blind dating service where people... Or a matchmaking service. There you go. Something like that could be cool. But also with this, it makes me think fostering new connections. So I think... once you're not ready for love right now, but your next partner will be somebody who is very much quite different from you. And I think it can be scary because I think this is somebody who you could eventually see yourself being with long term, and so you'll feel like running. So if you struggle with commitment, then this is Spirit's way of also saying if that's something you truly want, you can work on that. Or if it's something where you want like an open relationship, that's something you need to fully accept. There's parts of what you want in a relationship that also... like you say you're okay with or that you want, but then when it comes to actually fulfilling that part of a relationship, it makes you uncomfortable and you feel like you need to kind of settle. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have some sort of non-monogamous relationship moving forward, if that's something you want to test out, or if you want to like become somebody who's like a third in an already established polyamorous or open relationship. Elder of Plants is making me get a certain type of energy. So I kind of like completely blanked. I think that I like literally completely zoned out. Usually that doesn't happen during readings. So I think a lot of you, it's interesting. I don't think a lot of you are in the headspace right now where you actually really think much about romantic relationships. Now, usually people who listen to these kinds of readings, they do think about romantic relationships, but I don't think you're thinking about like an actual relationship. I think you're thinking of, like, again, if you think of celebrities and like their relationship dynamics, or like your friends that you have and you think of their relationship dynamics, but you're not really truly thinking about what a loving romantic relationship would look like for you. So it's like it's like you don't accept advice from other people, but you also at the same time look at what other people are doing. And it's like you almost subconsciously feel like you're living vicariously through these other people's relationships, and maybe you feel like that's enough for you. Maybe for some of you it is. This hyper independence does keep coming up, even though there is a sense that you should trust your community here to help you. But let's pull one more card. And then the Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so this is more than anything indicating the Six of Wands. When it's an upright, it wants attention. When it's in reverse, they don't. And so I think this really is a time where romantic attention is not going to work favorably for you right now. But yeah, it's saying let your friends help you. Yeah, so I think don't put pressure on it. Just if it happens, it happens. But also accept advice or tips from friends. I don't get the sense that you should date one of your friends because I was asking about that. That's not what I'm getting here. But yeah, this is really telling me that. So are you ready? I think I already said this. Are you ready for love right now? No. But when you are ready, ask for tips, resources, and help from others who you trust. Also, really evaluate what kind of relationship it is that you would want. Non-monogamous keeps showing up here. This could also insinuate that when you're ready to start looking for love, that maybe there's a very long stretch of time where it will be non-committal. Or maybe if you really think about it, maybe you'll never really want to be in a committed relationship. There literally are people like that out there. Sometimes I think if I even want that, I contemplate that. So if that's something where you're like, I don't know if I actually want like an established relationship ever with somebody, like a committed relationship, then you need to learn to accept that if that's truly what you want. And you're not a bad person if that's the case. If it's not monogamous, you're not a bad person if that's the case. Ten of Coins also makes me think like a community of people. Like you could have multiple partners. So like there's 3 hands here. So maybe you could join somebody else. I don't know. Like I see, you know what it reminds me of too? Like I don't know if you travel around a lot, but it reminds me of people who travel around a lot so they don't really ever commit because they're never at a home base. And they're just always like meeting people for one-night stands and whatnot in these other towns, or if they're somewhere for a couple months, then it's like, hey, we can have this fling for a little bit, but then I gotta move along. That's actually a very good energy, or it's a good example for me to bring up, because it just feels like you're kind of always on to the next thing anyway, and so you're like, and I think people bore you easily. It seems like you entertain yourself, and you are just fine yourself in other ways too. But I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 3C, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it provides insights in some way. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can not become a channel member. Oops, wrong channel. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos as well as my collective readings on this channel, and you can check out my socials, including my 2 ASMR channels, in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, and take care. Bye-bye.